Thank you, sir, for joining me here today. Let's kick off. The Indian education system, like me and Aisha were also talking about, it's undergoing a digital transformation, and a lot of credit is being given to digitalization. But going further, how can Indian educational institutions provide value-based education? Important word, important phrase here, value-based education, while also providing, the impetus in developing both scientific knowledge as well as some spiritual understanding for students. Your thoughts?
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me here. This morning, Mike Pompeo and Anand talked about war in Ukraine, potential dispute in Taiwan. I think the best way to kill a country is to deprive the people of education. That's as simple as that. India was probably the best, the land of knowledge, when we had Nalanda and Takshashila. We lost them. Now we're reinventing, and I think the grassroots of anything is value. And I think all of you might agree, majority of you may agree, that we have lost the values. And there is significant push from the government to incorporate values as part of education. I strongly and firmly believe that value-based education is extremely important, because all of the third world, third largest GDP and becoming a superpower and all that, it will become a pipe dream if you don't have sustainable, qualified, younger generation of people coming through. So it is very, very important.
That's very important. I think an important point that you said there is the qualified part, because they need to be qualified not just in the education, but in like a 360 degree. Dr. Ramanathan, there's a Sanskrit prayer, and it goes something like that, and I apologize to you and to the audience if my Sanskrit pronunciation is wrong, but Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. It means a reminder of our deeper connection to the entire world around us. So, apart from empowering students with skills, with qualifications, how important is inculcating the ethos and values of dharma, of karuna, of shraddha, so righteousness, compassion, mindfulness. How important is that to put in to the student of today?
Yeah. Well, when I grew up, just me, any one of you. As a baby, we looked up to our mother, then we looked up to our parents. They were there with us when we grew up, so the values, all of the things, the dharma, karuna, and shraddha, we learned by observing our parents. Now, I spent about 30 years in the US, and I know where India is going. We're behind US on all of this. It's a double income family. So mom and dad leave home, they leave the kid to a nanny. And today in India, that's happening to our older parents. They're taken care of by caretakers, not by the children, majority of them. So we start with the nanny, end with the nanny. And nannies don't teach you dharma, karuna, and shraddha. It comes from the parents. So all of these things, the importance of value and all of these starts at home. And if we don't start at home, we have a problem. We stutter. And I think what you said is not applicable just for the university. The reason I say that, if you have a sapling which is just young and quite flexible, you can bend. Once it becomes a tree, the only thing you can do is cut it down. How much are you going to cut it down? So make sure that all of these values start from kindergarten, primary school, secondary school. So when they hit this, where I need to acquire skills, they're in a shape and form to absorb. And this, in the long term, will be the sustainable engine and horsepower for India to just not be the third best GDP, it can move to the first.
Fantastic. That is such an important point and so well put. Dr. Ramanathan, reportedly in a short span of about 18 years, your university has established over 180 collaborations with top 500 world-ranked universities. Could you tell us about how this has helped the university also in emerging as one of the fastest growing institutions of higher learning in India?
Yeah, I think if you were to go back and see how this university was formed, the foundation was education for living. And it's not education for life and not for a living. So you're not just getting a degree to earn money, but you're going to learn how to lead your life. That was a foundational principle of the university. And then we added all of the values that you talked about into the curriculum. Plus, the most important thing anybody would say is the quality of faculty in that campus, in that university. You have so many temples, and I bet you most of you will go to a specific temple because word of mouth or some believe that there is a power. That power came in because somebody chanted something that brought in positive vibrations. So that is how this university was built. So this 18 plus years of constant, dedicated, committed faculty made this happen, along with our students and alumni. Now, who are the beneficiaries? I think the university is not the beneficiary, it is our students. All of them have secured excellent opportunities in India and abroad. And the most fascinating fact is, the university, whatever we do, we try and take it to society. And that is why even yesterday, I'm so proud that Amrita is ranked number 52 in the world in UN Sustainable Development Goals.
Wow.
We talk about sustainability, climate change, lots of papers. Who is adopting them? We do. And that's how we got to that ranking, right? So what now we have seen is universities from abroad are sending their students and faculty to learn how do you take technology to society? How do you benefit? We have more than 15 lakh people benefiting from all of our activities in about 108 villages.
Right. So, I think this is really important because, sir, what you said, people talk about SDGs, but it's great that the students can see it in action at the university before they head out into the corporate world. So we're hoping they carry on those learnings out there. So we're running out of time, but I have time for two quick questions. One, sir, is what is your opinion on the National Digital University? Because what kind of impact do you think this will have on online learning for students in higher academics?
Well, I think with the pandemic, we all learned how to handle online education, and I think India, I'm very proud to say that India adapted so nicely, very beautifully, go from offline to online. Now, the three ladies talked about technology going to rural communities. Now, I heard on day one yesterday, 65% of our population is rural. But we produce a lot more toxic gases in the cities. 65% population in rural areas, how do you get them the education? How do you improve primary health care? All of these are important. So digitalization and taking advantage of this, with the speaker talking about 5G becoming a huge rollout in India, we are poised to benefit. And that is absolutely what we need to do, take education to every home, because education becomes the foundation for the growth and prosperity of this nation.
Perfect. As we wrap up, sir, what kind of government support have you received in making education more accessible to the students in the country? Because, I know, and in what manner, in fact, can you tell us, in what manner is Amrita University facilitating education to the underprivileged in our country in terms of scholarships, placements? If you could tell me something about that.
I'll just answer the first question, first placement. I don't think students who walk through Amrita need to worry so much about placement. It's an automatic. Companies come after the students at Amrita because of the skill plus the values they get. Now, we have certain set of policies that is very inclusive. It takes care of merit as well as EWS and underprivileged kids. But then, you can apply as underprivileged. However, there are circumstances. Like I know a student who lost both parents within a span of a week. Mom and dad during COVID. Second attack. What do you do with that kid? Suddenly everything came to a standstill dark. We gave that kid, a girl kid, free education until the entire 3 years, free. No questions asked, and we don't have to sit and go through a huge bureaucratic process. It's very simple. Compassion takes first. You do what is right and what is dharmic. And that is how we do it. So, a kid who lost both parents in accident, nobody can predict that. We gave free education. So these are some underlying principles on which the university was built. And I'm being very proud that we're able to make those decisions and give these kids what they deserve.
Fantastic. Well, so it's really heartwarming to see all the efforts being done by the university. And yes, you are right. Education is so very important, and that is what helps any country and especially India grow. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. Thank you for being a part of India Economic Conclave.
Thank you.